Intelligence is the ability to adapt to change. We are just an advanced breed of monkeys on a minor planet of a very average star, but we can understand the universe. That makes us something very special. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, it is the illusion of knowledge. Life would be tragic if it weren't funny. The past, like the future, is indefinite and exists only as a spectrum of possibilities. The universe doesn't allow perfection. Quiet people have the loudest minds. One of the basic rules of the universe is that nothing is perfect. Perfection simply doesn't exist. Without imperfection, neither you nor I would exist. Not only does God play dice, but he sometimes throws them where they cannot be seen. Science is not only a disciple of reason but also one of romance and passion. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do and succeed at. It matters that you don't just give up. People won't have time for you if you are always angry or complaining. I have noticed that even people who claim everything is predetermined and that we can do nothing to change it still look before they cross the road. I am just a child who has never grown up. I still keep asking these how and why questions. Occasionally, I find an answer. I have so much that I want to do. I hate wasting time. One of the great revelations of the space age has been the perspective it has given humanity on ourselves. When you look at Earth from space, you see a world without borders. The human capacity for guilt is such that people can always find ways to blame themselves. If you are lucky enough to find love, remember it is there and don't throw it away. There should be no boundaries to human endeavor. We are all different. However bad life may seem, there is always hope. Where there is life, there is hope. I think computer viruses should count as life. I think it says something about human nature that the only form of life we have created so far is purely destructive. We have created life in our own image. We are in danger of destroying ourselves by our greed and stupidity. We cannot remain looking inward at ourselves on a small and increasingly polluted and overcrowded planet. It is not clear that intelligence has any long-term survival value. If extraterrestrials visit us, I think the outcome would be much as when Christopher Columbus first landed in America, which didn't turn out well for the Native Americans. The idea that we are alone in the universe seems to me completely implausible and arrogant. The greatest achievements of humanity have come about by talking, and the greatest failures by not talking. It doesn't have to be that way. The universe is governed by science. But science tells us that we can't solve the equations directly in the abstract. We need to use the effective theory of Darwin. There is no unique picture of reality. Even if there is only one possible unified theory, it is just a set of rules and equations. What is it that breathes fire into the equations and makes a universe for them to describe? We are each free to believe what we want, and it is my view that the simplest explanation is there is no God. No one created the universe, and no one directs our fate. This leads me to a profound realization: there is probably no heaven and no afterlife. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe, and for that, I am extremely grateful. The universe itself has no single history, nor even an independent existence. Time travel may be possible, but it is not practical. I think the human race doesn't have a future if it doesn't go into space. The universe is not indifferent to our existence, it depends on it. I regard the brain as a computer that will stop working when its components fail. There is no heaven or afterlife for broken down computers. That is a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. My expectations were reduced to zero when I was 21. Everything since then has been a bonus. Although I cannot move and I have to speak through a computer, in my mind, I am free. To confine our attention to terrestrial matters would be to limit the human spirit. There are no black holes in the sense of regimes from which light can't escape to infinity. The absence of event horizons means that there are no black holes in the sense of regimes from which light can't escape. I like physics, but I love cartoons. The universe does not behave according to our preconceived ideas. It continues to surprise us. We should seek the greatest value of our action. I think the next century will be the century of complexity. We should seek the greatest value of our action. My goal is simple. It is a complete understanding of the universe, why it is as it is, and why it exists at all. When one's expectations are reduced to zero, one really appreciates everything one does have. Time is a mystery that has confounded the greatest minds for centuries. While physics and mathematics may tell us how the universe began, they are not much use in predicting human behavior. We are each free to believe what we want, and it is my view that the simplest explanation is there is no God. No one created the universe, and no one directs our fate. This leads me to a profound realization: there is probably no heaven and no afterlife either. We have this one life to appreciate the grand design of the universe, and for that, I am extremely grateful. Keeping an active mind has been vital to my survival. Try to make sense of what you see and wonder about what makes the universe exist. Be curious. If time travel is possible, where are the tourists from the future? The universe is not indifferent to our existence, it depends on it. If you understand how the universe operates, you control it in a way. One cannot really argue with a mathematical theorem. I regard the afterlife as a fairy story for people afraid of the dark. It is a waste of time to be angry about my disability. One has to get on with life, and I haven't done badly. People who boast about their IQ are losers. The thing about smart people is they seem like crazy people to dumb people. We live in a universe governed by rational laws that we can understand. The future is uncertain, but it is this uncertainty that allows us to live free. The human race does not have a future if it does not go into space. We must free ourselves from the chains of Earth and explore space. The last thing I want to do is to write another book on physics. However difficult life may seem, there is always something you can do.